questions came, then we told them about concentration camp, but about details, we told them only when he started asking. How would you say it? Clear questions, to the point questions. Then we told him. Because we were both of the opinion that he should know. At the time when I came to Auschwitz, they came so many trains together. That was in end of October 44. That instead of tattooing us, they shaved our heads. That was enough to prevent a person to escape. It has been suppressed for 30 years. It has been suppressed.
And it came to the surface.
And it slowly came to the surface. Yeah.
And when it came to the surface, what was your insight? What did you think? What did you say to your husband? You must have said,
I didn't tell him in the beginning at all. I was so shocked by it and so shattered and surprised and disgusted and ashamed.
What were you ashamed of?
I had the feeling somebody was in my mind. Somebody got into my brain. It's a horrible feeling. I said in the book, I said it was like rape. It feels somehow, I haven't been raped, but to me it's like rape, if not worse. That somebody was able to manipulate your mind without your knowing to such a degree that you completely, that we were about to forget who you were, where you came from, how you lived 10, 20, 30 years ago almost, and give it up. All these good memories which you had from your childhood and so, you are ready to forget.
And can you describe any of those experiences?
Yeah, that started in Auschwitz. In Theresienstadt it was everybody could keep clean and nothing like that ever happened. But they forced us to sit down in excrement while we were in the latrine. The latrines were enormous barracks and we were sitting next to each other and everything was so dirty. And we didn't have absolutely any means to clean ourselves afterwards. We didn't have a piece of rag or paper also, so whatever stuck to you and whatever you couldn't wipe off with your hands stuck to your body, stuck to your buttocks and your thighs and legs and of course to your hands. And you tried to wash your hands in sand or in soil, but how much can you get off? And that was going on and on. And then in Mauthausen, I don't know if that couldn't have been anymore on purpose. But when the people who had dysentery and who were losing their, whose bowels were so, I don't know the expressions, so loose that they constantly emptied and we didn't have anything to change our clothes. And so you can imagine after 3 weeks how people look. And not everybody had the dysentery. The strange thing was that the girls who didn't have it could live with me.
Couldn't live with you?
Could live.
And is that how it came to you?
But when they tell you constantly, that's the way you live, that's the way which shows that you are not worthy to live with people, not to take care of yourself. You are an animal, you are worse than an animal. And when it goes every day, and when you see yourself, and when you see the others, and when you see how the camp looks and how the others look, then you start doubting that your memories are true. I'm absolutely convinced. Because in the meantime I heard, for instance, they planned everything. I heard about these breathing farms they had in Germany for Germans. They selected beautiful, healthy, blonde young girls with blue eyes, and they housed them in a beautiful castle somewhere, and in this castle they sent good-looking, Aryan, blonde, blue-eyed Germans for recreation. And the Germans were supposed to fertilize these girls, and they built up a new young nation, Aryan-looking.
But you feel that what they were doing to non-Aryans was part of a different kind of
Of
systematic.
course, but how they planned this, for instance, these breeding farms, that's the example how far they went in the planning.
Well, you never really fought. I mean, you were
No,
called
I
up.
mean to go through it again.
Well, I can understand. What
To a certain degree, I fought without subconsciously. I fought because to stay alive, it was actually against your wish. I don't know if it was only that, the mental manipulation. I think it was the whole experience. After all, it lasted 3 years. That's a long time. When you go through a very, very shattering, bad experience which lasts a day or half a day, like here in normal life, today we can imagine that we survive an airplane crash, for instance, in an area where there is not help available right away. There were situations like this here, they happened. And still, the people who got out with their lives were helped later. But everybody assumed that they need psychological help to somehow survive in good health. And maybe they do. But you compare that to 3 years of what I described. So maybe if it was unthinkable and nobody considered psychology to be so important then, and it is unthinkable that they would have so many people to help us, but maybe we would have been better off in the years coming if we had somebody to help us. Because I never had especially much, guts, for instance, or I was not a fighter spirit, and I'm here. It was a matter of fate, like what I said about the glasses who helped me survive. There were other instances. How come I was in a group who was never bombed? When we came to this factory, to this airplane factory, they told us, I don't know who it was told us, that the group which was working there before us was bombed out, and we are the replacement. And we really had every day, every other day, air raids. And the bombs were falling all around us, and we were in no shelter. And as long as I was there, 8 months, it never hit us. And I heard that 3 days after we have been evacuated, the factory was completely erased.